Hey there, and welcome to today's deep dive.
You know how we're always on the hunt for those surprising little life upgrades, those small changes with big impact.
Well, today we're diving into something you probably haven't considered as a brain boosting activity: socialization.
That's right, spending time with other humans.
And the best part, you're already doing it right now just by tuning in.
It's true.
This very act of listening to a podcast, even though you're on your own, it speaks to that innate human desire for connection.
And it turns out that very connection might be one of the most potent tools we have for maintaining a healthy brain.
Okay, that sounds intriguing, but tell me more.
I'm all for a good chat, but how does that translate to actual cognitive benefits?
Well, the material we're diving into highlights this concept called brain savers, which outlines 6 key pillars of brain health.
And you guessed it.
Hmm.
Socialization is a major player.
It's not just about having friends and family, although that's wonderful too. It's about the actual neurological processes that light up when we engage with others.
So you're telling me those times I'm laughing with friends or having a deep conversation, those aren't just enjoyable, they're like a workout for my brain.
Precisely.
Like building up what researchers call cognitive reserve.
Think of it as strengthening those neural pathways, making your brain more resilient to decline.
And the research here is astounding.
Strong social connections have been shown to reduce the risk of cognitive decline, including serious conditions like Alzheimer's, by a staggering 50 to 60%.
Wow, 50 to 60%, that's incredible. It's like suddenly making time for social activities feels like a no-brainer, right?
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's clarify something.
When we talk about socialization, we're not talking about some rigid formula here, are we?
Absolutely not.
And this is what I appreciate about this deep dive. It takes a very inclusive approach.
We're not talking about needing a jam-packed social calendar or being the most popular person in the room.
It's about those everyday interactions, those small moments of connection that weave throughout our lives.
So whether it's a quick catch-up with family, a chat with colleagues at work, or even just a friendly exchange with a neighbor, those all count.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing those opportunities for genuine connection, however small they may seem, and embracing them.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as like chatting with a neighbor
Yeah.
can have such a profound impact on our brain health.
Right.
But you know what's even more fascinating to me?
The benefits of socialization, they extend far beyond just keeping our minds sharp.
That's right.
It's like this ripple effect, touching almost every aspect of our well-being.
Think about it. When you feel connected to others, when you feel a sense of belonging, how does that impact your overall outlook on life?
Well, it's definitely more positive. I feel more motivated, more engaged.
And the material we're diving into actually backs that up.
Uh-huh.
There's a strong link between an active social life and an increased sense of purpose.
Exactly. That sense of purpose is incredibly powerful.
It can even be linked to longevity. Yeah. It's like having a reason to get up in the morning, a feeling that you matter and that you're contributing to something larger than yourself.
And that can be a huge factor in overall health and happiness, especially as we age.
Yeah, it's like those feel-good vibes, they translate into real, tangible benefits.
Yes.
And speaking of tangible benefits,
Mhm.
our deep dive also highlights the physical perks of staying connected.
It makes sense when you think about it.
And so
Socializing often goes hand in hand with staying active.
a walk with a friend, joining a dance class,
Yeah.
even just the energy it takes to maintain those relationships, it all adds up.
It's like sneaking in a workout without even realizing it.
Right.
And our source material mentions studies linking social activity to better mobility and the ability to stay independent as we age, which I think is so important.
It's remarkable how interconnected our social and physical well-being truly are, like you said.
The motivation to get out and connect with others can translate to staying more active, taking better care of ourselves, and maintaining our independence.
Those are things we all value, especially as we navigate different life stages, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And that makes me think about those times in life when our social routines, they might get disrupted.
Yeah.
Like when kids move out or we transition into retirement or even just as our interests change over time.
Those are all crucial transitions.
And they can be challenging from a social perspective.
It's easy to feel a sense of isolation if we're not mindful about maintaining those connections or seeking out new ones.
That's such a crucial point.
So knowing all of this, how do we navigate those shifts and make sure we're staying connected no matter what life throws our way? Because let's be real.
Sometimes we need a little nudge, a bit of inspiration, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the practical advice in our source material really shines.
It's not enough to just understand the why of socialization. We need to know how to make it happen.
Right.
And luckily, this deep dive is chock full of actionable strategies.
Okay, great.
For example, one that resonated with me is the power of daily check-ins.
Oh, I love that one. It's such a simple but effective way to stay connected, especially with loved ones.
It doesn't have to be this big elaborate thing, just a quick call, a text, maybe a funny meme, just to let someone know you're thinking of them.
Exactly.
It's about weaving those small, consistent gestures into the fabric of our daily lives.
But remember, maintaining connections is important,
Yeah.
but so is expanding our social circles.
The material also highlights the value of exploring new hobbies or sharing our talents with others.
Yes. I'm thinking things like local clubs, workshops, volunteering, anything that sparks our interest and allows us to connect with like-minded people.
It's about finding those points of intersection, those shared passions that bring people together.
And it's a win-win. You get to pursue something you enjoy while expanding your social network.
It's like a two-for-one deal for a happier, healthier life. And while we're on the topic of expanding our circles, we can't forget about the workplace.
Even if retirement is on the horizon.
That's a great point.
Whether you're still climbing the corporate ladder or thinking about your next chapter, maintaining those professional connections and networking within your field can provide a sense of purpose, belonging, and even open up unexpected opportunities down the line.
It's all about staying engaged, right?
Exactly.
And for those who are already enjoying retirement, our deep dive offers some great suggestions too.
Volunteering, mentoring programs, even taking on a part-time job.
These can all provide that structure and social interaction that might be missing after leaving a long career.
There's something so fulfilling about using your skills and experience to give back or guide others.
And it can be a fantastic way to connect with people from different generations and backgrounds.
Speaking of different generations, the source material touched on something I found really intriguing,
Okay.
the idea of actively connecting with younger people.
It's not something we always prioritize, but it makes so much sense.
Right.
It's easy to get stuck in our own age groups.
But reaching out across generations can be incredibly rewarding for everyone involved. Sharing our experiences, our perspectives, even our cringe-worthy stories from our younger days.
It can create these amazing moments of connection and understanding. Plus, let's be honest.
Sometimes we could all use a little youthful energy in our lives.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we can't talk about social connection in this day and age without addressing the digital elephant in the room. Right?
100%.
Oh.
Technology is this double-edged sword when it comes to socialization.
On the one hand, social media and online platforms have opened up incredible opportunities for connection, especially for those who might be geographically isolated or have mobility limitations.
It's amazing to think about how many friendships and relationships have blossomed thanks to those online connections.
But, and it's a big but, our source material rightly points out the potential pitfalls.
It's like this whole other world to navigate, with its own set of rules and potential hazards.
Right.
Our source material specifically talks about scams and misinformation that often target older adults.
And it's a valid concern.
It's crucial to approach the digital world with both enthusiasm and a healthy dose of caution.
Just like we teach our kids about stranger danger in the offline world, we need to be savvy about online safety too.
Right.
A great tip from the material is to seek guidance from tech-savvy friends or family members.
Absolutely.
And there are also some fantastic computer and internet literacy classes out there.
It's a perfect example of how expanding your skill set can also expand your social circle.
You're learning something new and meeting people at the same time.
It's a win-win. And it speaks to the fact that staying connected in the digital age is an ongoing process of learning and adapting.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into socialization,
I'm struck by how it's not just one thing.
but this multifaceted aspect of our lives with benefits that ripple outward.
It's easy to dismiss socializing as something optional.
Something we fit in if we have time, right? But the reality is we humans, we're wired for connection.
It's in our DNA. And embracing those connections isn't just good for us individually. It creates this ripple effect, touching the lives of those around us.
It's like this beautiful cycle of sharing and support and growth.
Exactly.
We're all in this together, right?
We are.
And the best part is it doesn't require some massive life overhaul.
It's the small, consistent actions, those everyday moments of genuine human connection that truly make a difference.
Those seemingly insignificant interactions add up to a richer, more fulfilling, and ultimately healthier life.
I love that. So as we go about our days, our weeks, our lives, what's one small step we can take to deepen those social connections?
A phone call to a friend we haven't spoken to in a while, joining that local book club. The possibilities are endless and the rewards are immeasurable.
Absolutely.
And remember, even just being here, listening to this deep dive with us is a step in the right direction.
That's true. It's all about staying curious, staying engaged, and staying connected.
Until next time, keep those conversations flowing and those connections strong.